Hello, this is day 3 of the Advanced Programming class right here on the Advanced Programming web resource page. But I'm going to backtrack to the Canvas site, and now that we've gone through day 2, and I sure hope you guys have been able to install the software. That was a key component to this. I'm clicking in the example problem number 1, simulation. Okay, so if you had me in programming in past years, we're going to be getting into doing a generic program, knowing that you got the software on your home machine. This is really the big test to see if you can't, get a program working for the first time at home. So I'm going to be asking you guys to review some notes, minor notes, and then that leads us right into maybe your first program in advanced programming. So this first program in advanced programming is actually a reinforcement or a review from what you did last year, going back to the console application. So understand there's some notes here, overview of the IDE, split screen and computer screenshot. So talking about the split screen so you can see maybe the notes and the Visual Basic, whether you want to house them in a horizontal or a vertical state. The split screen is clearly up to you. And then I'll get into, at the end of the video, taking your finished product. We're going to do some screenshots, dump it in the Word program, and taking your Word program to this site here and upload it in the Dropbox. That's what I'm talking right here. So understand that this is just a screenshot. There's no links here other than this video of this. And to get to the just an overview of what day 3 should consist of. So I'm going to drop back into the advanced programming page real quick, and I'm going to log in. Again, LAB 2122 followed by Bobcats, and we're in module 1 inside the first 9 weeks. So I'm going to go first 9 weeks, module 1, and now we're into the website. So by now you should have been able to go through advanced programming day 2, and the big piece of that was installing the program. I'm going to talk about the program, going to work through this first simulation with you a little bit, and try to get you guys comfortable writing your first program at home. So again, read through these 2 notes. So I'm not going to go there, but I'm asking you to read through these 2 notes, part of day 3 in terms of notes. Then you see the Visual Basic.NET application, and so I'm basically going to expand and open that at this particular time, and try to do a small little overview of this particular program. So understand that you've been here before. You're going to be working with the module structure. This is a simple program. It may look like a lot of lines here, but a simple program. I'll show you where you can find the flower box so you can copy and paste that easily inside the program. And so, this is the program I want you to imitate and try to draw up and complete, just as you see here. And so I give some generic terms down below. The internal comment tag, it's a single apostrophe to the dim statement. Let's see, you have a couple dim statements here that we're declaring, to the string, integer, to some of the functionality of the console write, console read line, console read in terms of trying to hold the program as well, and that's a big component of having the program stop so you can see your output, and then I'll get into doing print screens and proceed on shortly. So at this time, I'm going to ask you guys to launch the software. Again, you can come down here at the very bottom where I'm typing in, and type in Visual, all right, and it populates up above here. If you haven't already, I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to pin it to this Start button, which you see it right here. It's already here. So you can launch this program either by clicking on the taskbar or just clicking up here. So I'm gonna click it on my taskbar and launch the program. Now I will say to you, You know, sometimes the first time or the second time you launch the program, it may be a little slower, but after the program you've gone through a set of program, it then should become a little quicker to load up. Okay, now that Visual Studios is loaded up, this is the start page, and understand this is a product that Microsoft is providing you with the news feed. So right in the middle of the start page, and if I quickly scroll down just a hair, you should see news articles. Now, these are going to be high-level news articles that talking about programming aspects, more than I'm going to be asking you guys to dive in, but understand that the purpose of this is a interface where you're getting news feeds related to the programming in the different languages. Okay, so kind of very similar to last year, we have a Solution Explorer on the right hand side, we have the property window on the below right hand side. And if you ever have trouble like losing one of them, which I'm going to close down, let's say I'm going to close down this Solution Explorer right now by hitting that X up in the right hand side. All right, I can easily get that back, all right, by going up to the View tab and then clicking up. There's several windows in the View tab that you can select from. So if I come up here and select, okay, right at the top, Solution Explorer, and click Solution Explorer, or say, let's say my property window got lost down below, you got the property window on this View tab. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the solution window, and you can see there it opens up. So understand that. Now, as I quickly flop back to the document folder before we establish something here, and I'm asking you guys to follow me on this. So if I go to my taskbar and I click on the file folder, and again, quick access and document, and I may have a lot of different other files on here, and you can see I do have advanced programming file. But notice, since we have installed this program, Visual Studios has now packaged in a folder there. And so without changing the default of how we want to save it to our own location, all files would then be saved right into that Visual Studios 2015, and I think it would be like inside the project folder right here. But I did those steps. If I back out, I did that step so we can try to save in all your programs so you know where they're at, right into this advanced programming area. So I'm just going to back out of that and get back to the program and try to establish and do a save as for the first time with you. So if I pull down the file menu, and at the very top you see new project. Okay, so if I click on new project, you're going to get a new project dialog box that will appear. Okay, and so you should be able to see the save as. You should be able to see the mechanism of browse, so you can browse to a location of choosing. So what you got here is what the new project window looks like. Now, most likely the top level one, window form application, that's kind of where we ended, you know, working with Windows form application. But we're going to be getting into looping a little bit in this, you know, this unit here. It's all about looping. And so we're going to do that in a structure of strictly coding. And so we're going to spend a little time going back to coding, high level, strictly console application. So please make an effort to select on these templates, console application. If you're still a little confused, if you look on the left-hand side, you see Visual Basic. That's what was defaulted when I installed the program. That's what should be in your selected as well, because that's what the language we are learning. So console application. If you look down below, you should see the name and location. If you do not see a location, then you need to go back into the objects options under tools and go to and click that checkbox in day 2 video. All right. So I'm going to ask you guys, by default, it's calling this console application number 1. Let's delete it and type in example problem 1. Simple enough, example problem 1. I'm going to capitalize the P in my example problem 1. Notice how it also is creating a folder, that same verbiage. All right. Now, if you look at this location, and I'm going to go browse, and it may be very well, you may be pointing, ladies and gentlemen, if I was just going to guess here real quick, when you click down below, it's probably locating in your projects, in this project folder of the 2015. So what I'm going to do is tell you guys, okay, let's back out by clicking the documents under quick access documents. Then if you click in advanced programming class, this is where we're at. Okay, so I have now selected the folder here. By selecting this folder, it's targeting the file to be saved inside the advanced programming file. So I've got a file name and I got advanced programming. So at this particular time, I'm going to go ahead and hit the OK. And it may take about 5, 10, 15 seconds, 20 seconds to populate this program. And understand that before you can program, write any code, you actually have to save the program first. Okay, unlike maybe Word program. You can load up Word, you can type a couple sentences, you can type a whole page and still haven't saved the document yet. Well, we have to save the file first before we can do any programming. So I'm going to ask you guys right now, go ahead and hit the OK button. And then again, this could take a couple seconds to populate and bring in this program. Okay, now that the Visual Basic program has opened up, I'm now going to try to do a little tweaking of it. You may not be able to see my text that well, but so I'm going to go up here to Tools again and Options. We've been here before, and under the environment, okay, you'll see something that says font and color. And if I come up here and just increase my font 18, so I'm just making sure you guys can have a bigger font to look at. My font on my screen actually increased a little bit, all right? So understand you have that capability of increasing the font at your screen as well, okay? So we have a module 1 and we have the end module. So this is basically module 1, all right? Then inside this module 1, we have a submain and an end sub. And so all the programming that we're going to do is going to be done right inside in between these submain and end main. And so for me to get going in the right direction, I'm just going to hit return a couple times and just draw the spacing between the sub and the end sub just a little wide there, so you can go ahead and process some code in here. Now, I'm going to, before I proceed on, I'm going to proceed to get the flyer box for you guys real quick. So I'm going to go back to the Module 1 website. So bear with me. So if I go to the website, this is these notes, and this is going to be the program that I'm going to be asking you to program. But you can see right here, this is what I'm asking you guys to create and dump in, just like we did last year. And you can see where it's between the module and the submain. So I'm going to go back to the main page. Somehow I must have been logged out, so bear with me if I quickly log back in. So I'm back at the website, and if I scroll down, you should be able to see the flyer box in the above objectives. Okay, there's a link right here that says flyer box, no different than what you used years past in programming. So if I right-click over that link, right-click over the link that says flyer box and expand that out, I then have a simple structure which you guys should have been able to easy copy and paste. So I'm going to highlight my mouse over top of that yellow block, and I'm going to hold down the control key and hit C for practicality. I am then going back to the code, and right below the module, I'm going to hit return a couple times and then do a simple paste. All right, now it looks kind of all jumbled here, and that's because the screen is kind of offset. There we go. I'm moving my side over a little bit, and so you should be able to bring this right side by getting the 2 arrows and moving over. So I'm not going to go ahead and fill out this information, but remember, when doing this years past, there is an overtype, and if I get insert and overtype, if I scroll down to the bottom of the page, excuse me, you see that insert, INS. Well, there's a key on your keyboard. If I push it one time, it goes overtype. Hit it again, insert, overtype. So if I'm in the overtype, then you can type in the information without the the right side arrows, asterisk, excuse me, moving? If so, insert and hit the space bar to line it up. So I'm expecting you, I'm going to move forward to have these lines all completed. And you say, Mr. Proctor, what is the purpose? Well, if I simply flop back to the example problem 1, you can see the purpose. Now, author, file name should be the file name, author, and computer number. So I very well may have quickly messed up with regards to putting the file name as my name real quick. So I'm going to delete that back and just copy and paste it into the author's name. And so now we have our author's name. So if you ever get a screw up with this firebox, again, you can delete this back and insert and put it back. And then obviously I can space through that. And so, for example, you need to be calling this maybe example problem 1, example problem 1. And so I'm doing an insert, and you can see how it may take a little adjustment too, but okay. So I got the first 2 lines established there. So at this time, then you need to get yourself into a split screen of the notes and of the code, so you can code this information. And so I just give you a little analyze. If I'm using this screen to do that, I'm putting my the I-beam between it, and then getting the notes on this on the other side as well. So you can be a functional student with regards to seeing what you need to type, seeing what needs to be typed, and working with the split screen. Okay, so I would then be moving in the direction of this code right here. So I'm now going to focus my attention. I'm not going to sit here and type it. I'm focusing my attention on what's going on, reviewing the code that I'm presenting you here. So I'm going to maximize the screen real quick. So we have a variable name, a variable Fahrenheit, variable Celsius. Okay, so we use a name as a string, which is going to be text, and then we're using 2 numbers of input here, a Fahrenheit number and a Celsius number. So you can see we have an input. It says a person who's completing the conversion. That would then, the screen would stop and put your name. It'll proceed on with information regarding the input of the Fahrenheit. You then see the formula. This would be the formula that would convert the Fahrenheit into Celsius, and then you're working with the output. Okay, and then it has a question. Press enter to exit. Okay, so I'm giving you a little jazzing up a little bit. If you feel you want to jazz your own program up, but in using the same code, that formula is straightforward. You're going to have to use a Celsius equal Fahrenheit. All right, so this should get your feet wet by running this program, building this program, tweaking a little bit on how you want to tweak it. This should get your feet wet in terms of moving forward with do-while loops. So I'm going to stop here and get to the end of the program and helping you run it after it's you have typed in everything. Okay, now that I have written the program, and you can see the submain right here, the detail, I'm ready to run it. And now, again, if you have errors, you're going to have the green squiggly lines. I know when you're first probably typing the name and the Fahrenheit and the Celsius, they were coming up with green squiggly line, which means you're not using those variables. But as you went down through the program, those green squiggly lines went away. So again, when you launch the program for the first time to run it, it may take a little longer because it's in the packaging and is debugging a little bit, but no different than last year. You should see the start button at the top, and I'm going to ask you, I'm going to hit the red, the green arrow. And so you can see my console application, I see the person who's completing this. So I'm just going to go ahead and put my first name. I'm going to go enter, and it asks for Fahrenheit. All right. So I'm going to say maybe like the number 50, for example, and then I'm going to go enter, and it then projects the Celsius temperature is 10. So, you can use any different kind of Fahrenheit, but just, use one and do a couple tests. What's cool about this, it gives you a message that says press enter to exit. So it didn't exit after I hit the 50. It's now waiting, and by all means, if you push enter, the program will close. All right, so now that you got it running, you got your feet wet a little bit, I want to try to take these screenshots to a Word document. So I'm now going to ask you guys, let's prepare the Word document by coming down to the taskbar, and I'm actually going to launch a blank Word document and get my Word program opened up, and then save the Word program also in the document folder inside the advanced programming. Okay, now that the Word is opening up, I'm simply going to hit the blank document here and try to load up a blank Word document. And before I do any of the screenshot, I'm going to go ahead and try to establish a save as, a file name for this, okay, and put it in the same folder. Again, if I bounce over to the document and I go documents, I'm just going to be trying to get another file inside this area, right inside the advanced programming. So if I have a blank Word document open and I initiate by going File, Save As, I am now going to be drilling down to the document folder where we have the advanced programming class. So fortunate enough, it's pointing right into the document area. And so I see the advanced programming. I click that folder. Now I'm not going to go into the an example problem on. I'm just going to hover one level in, and I'm asking you guys to do the same. And I'm going to give it the same file name as the folder. So for example, problem 1 is what I'm calling this Word document. So I'm now going to go save. I now should have a file name, this Word document as a file name as, okay, now that the Word document loaded up, and you can see it's called example problem 1, I'm just going to check my file folder real quick to see if that's where, indeed, that's where I saved it. So if I jump over to the document folder, again, I see it right there, but if I go Documents, Advanced Programming, that's exactly where I wanted it. So this is what we're going to be eventually turning in, this Word document. Just be clear that I'm not going to be able to, you're not going to be able to send any of these files in the Dropbox. So we're going to be doing screenshots, and your finished product will be this Word program. And again, this is a participation grade to give me the screenshot. So I'm now going to drop, I got the Word program opened up here. I'm now going to drop back over to the Visual Studio's program. Now understand, if you increase the font on your surface of the code, you may not be able to capture all of this in one screenshot. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back up to the tools again and go Option, and I'm going to go back to that same font under environment, under font and colors. Right now I had it set on 18, so it's big. I'm going to drop it back down, let's say number 8, so it's become smaller, but I can capture more of the code in that representation. So I'm going to go OK, and now you kind of see I can get, by going 8, I can get the whole program. Now if you find yourself you're not doing it, then you may want to chunk some of your screenshots one right after the other. For example, you may want to just highlight this and copy and paste, and this and copy and paste, okay? And so when I say screenshots, all right, I'm going to be using the snippet tool, okay? So if you haven't gotten 2 icons on your desktop taskbar here, if I type in SINPPING, you should start seeing a snippet tool. And I think day 2, I wanted you guys to pin up the snippet tool on the taskbar. So if I simply launch this snippet tool, and you can see there's different freeform window. I'm just going to keep it on a rectangle, and I do a new. Watch what I crop here. All right, I'm going to go above this taskbar and scroll down and try to get all of the modules in there, and I'm going to let go. Now, if you recall, if we were in the classroom, I'd be taking steps for you guys to invert this color. Knowing that you're going to be having this rest on a desktop, I don't have to change that. And that goes into the console window, really what I'm talking about here, and I'll get to that shortly. So I'm now going to copy. I did a screenshot, copy this code, and I go to the Word document and I do a Control V, which should automatically paste that image of the screenshot in this Word document, okay? And so if I zoom out of this Word document real quick, this is a zoom effect of zooming out so you can see more of the code. So now I'm going to hit return, and I very well now I'm going to do run the program. So I got this here, and I maybe hit the save button, what I've gotten so far. I go back to the Word document, the Visual Studio's program. I now run the program, and now I'm trying to do a screenshot of the output. And so I'm just going to type my first name, Ted. I'm going to go with that 50 Fahrenheit temperature again and hit enter. And then I'm going to stop right here, because if I hit enter again, the program's going to stop and close. So I'm going back to the snippet tool. I'm going to hit new again, and then I'm going to crop this console window. Now I don't have to crop the whole window. Okay, I'm just going to crop, the top half of it, and I let go. I'm then going to, once again, copy, go to the Word program, and I'm simply going to paste. I now should be able to see your image. Now, this is what I was talking about. If you were going to be printing this console window off, I'd be asking you guys to dump it in the Paint program and invert the color from black to white, so it uses less ink. We're not printing this. This assignment is being uploaded to Canvas. So at this time, you have successfully completed this program. You run it. I can see it. This is a example problem 1. This is a participation grade. So I'm going to hit the save button because I got 2 images on here. I'm going to hit the save button, and I'm going to get back to Canvas now. Okay, now that I am back at Canvas and going back into the example problem simulation, I just want to review with you guys what's being uploaded. So again, at the very bottom, I talk about once done, submit the following assignment, Word document, example problem 1 in the Dropbox. So if I have you guys go up and hit the submit assignment button, you see what populates down at the bottom is an uploaded file. So you're going to go to choose a file. When you choose a file, you're going to be kind of looking into the document folder, into your advanced programming file. So I don't know where it's pointing to. So if under access, quick access, if I go documents, go into advanced programming, you then see that Word document. And if you go click example problem 1 and go open, it'll reach out and pull in that file. If you want to add a comment, you can, and then all you have to do is submit this document. And you can see it. You should be able to see the file right there. All right, so that concludes the aspects of uploading. I'm going to go back to the program real quick and just finalize some minor things with you. So this Word document, once you upload it, you can go ahead and hit the cancel button and close it. The snippet program, you captured that, you can go ahead and close that. And if I'm back at the program again, just understand from time to time you may be working on a program, and how do you, let's say halfway through, close it down and come back, open it back up again. Okay, so this is where the conversation leads. Sometimes you can only spend 10 minutes writing, you come back and you spend another 10 minutes writing. I totally get it. All right, so I'm going to close this down. I'm going to close down this program. So I'm closing down the Visual Studio's program. If it asks you to save it upon closing, you'll most certainly do so. So if I flop back to the file directory, and what I would like to do a lot of times, and I go in the file directory and I just click the first level. Now inside these folders, there's some more folders and more files, and I'm going to back it out. And one of the reason it takes time to establish the file at the very beginning, because it's putting these other files into place. So it's not immediate. It takes a couple seconds to process this program to launch it. So for me to tell you, I'm just going to click on the example problem 1. I'm going to reopen example problem 1 and deal with some issues if you cannot see where you left off at. So my example problem 1 now is going to be opening up here, and I'm going to close the tab button. Okay, now that my program's open back up again, I'm going over the what if. Okay, so I'm going to come up here to this module window right here and close it out, because there may be times when you think the program opened up and you don't see anything here. So if you scroll down on the solution window, and again, if this solution window is not open, you could pull down the view and click Solution Explorer window, and that'll open that up. Well, to get that module back open, if I simply click right there in the module, it should populate it and open it back up for you so you can see it. So sometimes these programs open up, all right, and they don't open up the tab for the module 1 or whatever program you're working on. Just simply click on the module 1 in the solution, and that should bring that open. So at the very most, this is the first assignment, first example problem, participation grade. Let's wrap this up, send this into the Canvas in the Dropbox, and I'll see you on day 4.